You're good.
I'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com. Up here at Penn North. Big ups to Charles Robinson. Charles, who's the cameraman?
That's Ron Taylor.
Ron Taylor. Thank you, Ron Taylor came out. So what's the questions?
You know, it wasn't as big as last year, but I think it was important.
It's important. You know, it reminds me of the video on YouTube about the follower. The most important thing to a movement is not the first person, but the second and the third one.
Mm-hmm.
So this year is important. Next year will be important. And, you know, taking the politics going out the picture is really about the men in the community stepping up and getting involved, taking ownership of our community. So big ups to Munir Bahar, to the mayor for supporting this effort. Some good stuff, I think.
I think a lot of people, you know, when they see it, they ask why. And I think the simple answer is because.
Well, let me put the camera on. Because of what?
I think it's because it's important to the community that when people are dying, you can't turn your head away and say that does not affect me, you know, because, you know, I am my brother's keeper.
Well, isn't the same thing, isn't that true with the Latino children?
Absolutely. You know, you cannot turn your head away.
And act like we don't see it.
Right. And
it will come knocking on our door.
Right.
What's happening in Baltimore City directly impacts Randallstown.
Absolutely. And
vice versa.
And what happens in D.C., what happens in Chicago, Detroit, you pick a city in this country.
Why was it important that you come out for this? I mean, because honestly, I was on my way to the World Cup and covering some other. No, I'm just joking. but you called me up and you made this important. Why is it important to you?
I think when people take initiative to address larger community issues, someone has to write about it and somebody has to cover it.
Someone does have to write about it. Someone does have to talk about it, and I'm noticing that quite often. How you doing? Quite often, the ink pen, the journalist, the photographer, needs to come from this community.
Right.
To best tell that story.
And not only that, you know, look.
I mean, because if we don't tell our perspective, who will?
That is something I've been preaching literally all my journalistic life.
So thank you for having the tenacity and the concern to come. Where do you live, Cecil County?
No, I don't live in Cecil. I live in Baltimore
Thank
County.
you for coming down to Baltimore City, to Pennsylvania North, to your library. This is your library?
My library. I always tell people this is the library I grew up in.
Penn North Library.
Penn North Library. It's here.
But thank you for caring, because you know you helped me to tell a story, and you tell the story. We all have play a role.
And one of the things I don't want people to get it twisted. It was small, but it was important because the people who came here made it important. They didn't decide, well, the murder rate went down in this city. Our job is done. Because guess what? People are still dying.
No, many have died since that march. Sadly, many more will die. At least it's bringing attention, of course, broader issues, investing in education, investing in recreational opportunities and access for our young people.
Hey, let me turn that around. Say that again.
Investing in education. Baltimore City, I mean, look at Poly. My son just graduated from Poly. I just found out from my 8th grade daughter that she's going to Poly. But Poly has dipped. And I'm, you know, big ups to the current principal. But historically, from what we're used to, and that goes back to the days of Alonzo. So investing in education, investing in recreation, because going back to the initial stat that we started to show off with, 44% of America's prison population looks like you and I, black men. And in a nation that incarcerates 25% of the world's inmates. I don't know about you, Bud, but I'm troubled by it.
Right. Well, once again, thank you, Be More News, for staying on the case, and Doni Glover for being Doni Glover.
Bless the Lord.
This is Be More News, and that's Doni Glover.